let's talk about the fans. There's been a lot of issues with fans relating to players very negatively in these stadiums. Fans being arrested for throwing popcorn or running onto the court or spitting. There's people been banned for life. What's your take on fans coming back to the arena and all the recent issues and incidents that we've seen directed towards the players?
First, just on a broad concept, just having fans back in the arena has been so great. I think it's been great for the broadcasts. First off, it's okay. It's fun to watch Madison Square Garden when it's full, right? Like, and they're screaming. But even in person, it's like when you go to games this season, and when the stadium was empty, and your team was down to the team's down to, they go on an 8-0 run that gets punctuated by a dunk at the end. The bench is going wild. They're high-fiving, and the energy just dissipates because there was no fans to carry it over in the building, right? Like when they came out of the timeout, it was just back to a quietish building. It just wasn't the same. The fans there energize those players, keep that buzz going. It just feels different in the arena. It's been fantastic. And it's great. It's just great to have them back. And then there are those handful of idiots. And I don't I want to have some brilliant, insightful take on this other than to stop being an idiot. But I don't know. I really don't know what it is. We could have a sociological discussion about people being pent up for after a year and then not handling being in public, or a breakdown of societal norms. I mean, we could discuss all that, but I sometimes I think it's just idiots being idiots, and sometimes it builds on each other. Like, hey, that guy did it. So I don't know. I wish I had a better take than that.
Yeah. Let me give a stab at it. I think we're in an age where athletes are more than an athlete, right? I'm a business person. I'm an activist. I'm a role model. But they're also reaching this point where I'm a vulnerable human being. And in an industry where the alpha is the one who rules the jungle, if you will, where weakness could cost you a contract, vulnerability could cost you a job. People have not been vulnerable. It's not been in vogue. But this past few years with DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Love, you start seeing more people being open about mental health and depression and doubt. So it's almost like we're watching these superstar athletes reckoning with their humanity, their mortality, and their vulnerability on the biggest stage, like in real life, like in real time. So they're trying to make sense of it. Kyrie's taking mental health breaks. Naomi Osaka's withdrawing from the French Open. Premier League players are talking about the abuse that they're receiving on social media. We're seeing all this happen in real time. And it's fascinating for me to see because the players are making that adjustment of how do I be a vulnerable human being, but still be at the top of my game and still be a role model for other people. That's a lot to deal with. The fans, I think, too, need to recognize that and then make an adjustment, too, because they're now shifting. What it means to be a fan is shifting, just like what it means to be an athlete is shifting. So I think that it's going to take time for fans to kind of like take this new step and understand their relationship with athletes and with sports are changing, that you could have passion, but you have to also understand that these are vulnerable human beings and that there are accountabilities for actions or messages you send on social media or letters you mail or things you say or things you do. So I think that's just going to take time. But I think it's really, really fascinating to see that juxtaposition of both those groups, both reckoning with how do I be vulnerable, but also be great at my craft.
That is a really nuanced, great take. That is really well. I love that. I love the way you're putting that. And I think your point that there needs to be accountability from fans is part of that. Like, you've seen these guys, people be arrested. Their names are out there. They've been banned from the arenas. I think that's a start. I think that you when fans do cross the line and you have to take that step as an organization, as an arena, to keep it civil for everyone else. And hopefully we can take steps down that road.